Welcome back to another episode of The Road to 2200. We've won 3 in a row, I believe, so we're going for number 4. Can we pull it off? We've got a 15-10 game going here. Against somebody rated 1866. It looks like we're 1836, and we're playing a Caro-Kann. Feels like it's going to be one of these two, right? Although I've been seeing more of this classical variation. I'm not sure if there was some video that's been talking about how good it is. I have been seeing more of it. My opponent taking quite a bit of time here to figure out what variation do I want to play. So it's kind of a weird spot to spend so much time. I would think you would know what variation of the Caro-Kann you play, but maybe our opponent's like, I've never seen this structure before. What even is this? So that would be great. That'll be surprising. But yeah, this at this point is someone who disconnected or had to walk away. Their child needed a snack. Something's going on here beyond. I'm not sure what to play against the Caro-Kann. So we'll see. Okay, they go for the exchange after about a minute. That's a large time usage there. Again, I have to assume something weird happened. Our moves are pretty straightforward in this opening. We're just developing the knights. We're pressuring the bishop there. We're moving this. We're going here. We're castling. It's why I like the Caro-Kann so much. Is it's like it's not necessarily even about the move order. It's just like a general plan that you're playing with to get into a good middle game. And then if you know the very specifics, sometimes you can, use that to your advantage. Like there's a very specific sequence of moves here that goes about 14 moves deep. That's like mainlining theory that I know, but no one ever plays it. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know what's happening with my poor opponent here. Their connection maybe is bad, but boy, they are using a lot of time in a very nondescript opening. And my child is texting me here. Okay, they need me to text somebody. What is the name of this person? Ay. Alright, I'm now going to juggle 2 things at once, which is always terrible, except for my opponent is taking so much time that maybe I'll be okay. Actually, I'm going to walk away for a second and do something. The worst video ever. Oh, wow. I'm back, and my opponent still hasn't moved, so I don't know what's happening. This is a very unusual game. So I've got a couple texts going to try to solve this problem. Okay, so they developed their knight. I will develop the other knight, and hopefully then by this point I will have figured out my problem here. Is that not her name? Okay. 8 minutes. Yeah, I really don't know what my opponent is doing here. It's giving me a lot of time to handle my text problem. Okay, so we're going to move here. It's not a pin. This is a little bit unusual. People don't usually do that. Okay. My opponent castled, which seems very reasonable. We're just going to go here. We're going to continue our plan. Normally, the main line is to go like here, and then I go here. Also, the main line, this is fine. I'm going to drop back. I don't see any reason to take here and trade. In the lines where they don't have the bishop here, in some of those lines, and then the queen takes, that can be an interesting way to do it. Okay. Again, I really don't understand this approach by my opponent. This is very interesting. Okay, so they moved the rook over. That seems fine. I'm a little bit torn here about what to do with this bishop, because the main line is to go here, and then I go here, and we trade, and here, and then this queen comes out to here and pressures this. But as we can see, like, this is not the main line, right? So this is one of the challenges of figuring out, like, well, how do I divorce myself from the main line and just play the position on the board? And I think based on the position on the board, I probably just want to go here and get castled. So the question is here or here, not here. I'm likely going to do a minority attack, and I don't want my bishop in the way over here. I'm just going to put the bishop here. It's a very safe spot. I guess the problem is if they immediately respond with this. This is kind of the idea, and then I can't really do it. Then I'm going to have to go here. But if I go here now and they come in here, then what? Okay, I'm going to go here to be able to do my minority attack, and then I'm just going to immediately castle. I'm still getting many texts. Okay, so they went there. Right, I think had I gone here, they would have gone here. So it's a little bit annoying. There's some interesting options here. I could go here. I've got a second attacker in here, which is defended twice. I'm attacking this. But I don't think I want to just let my pawn structure get destroyed. I'm not sure that that would be a good idea. So I think what I'm going to do is go here first. Make my opponent make a decision. My guess is the decision will be to go here. And then I think I'm going to have to drop back. And I knew when I made this move that I might have to alter where I put that bishop. And I knew that if my opponent was sophisticated, that they would just put it in the opposite place that I put mine. So it's possible that a better move would have been to just go here first to lure the bishop here. And then I just go here with the bishop. But I wasn't 100% sure I want to execute this minority attack. I'm still trying to kind of figure this one out. My opponent has played it in an unusual manner. Can I just exploit the fact that this c-pawn is going to be hard to move? Can I just like double on the c-pawn? Then this guy is pretty much stuck here because anytime it moves, the c-pawn drops. I don't know. Okay, so that feels like an unusual move to me. I'm not sure why go there, but okay. I mean, I guess they can't go here now, right? Because I've got that covered. So maybe that's a totally fine move. I think I just castle and then figure things out. Yeah, let's just castle. And then, I don't know, where do I want this rook? And in fact, maybe I'm even going like this, this, and this. Like that is a distinct possibility. There's even a little part of me that's like, what if we went here and here, threatening mate by taking this and winning a piece? But I would have to assume I go here, they do something, I go here, and they're like, okay, alarm bells, there's a mate threat here, I'll just do like this. And then the mate threat is gone. So that would be my assumption, that they're not just going to let me mate them. But again, I'm always the one in time trouble in these rapid games, so I'm very excited that my opponent is doing me quite the favor in being the one in time control and having me to answer text to my family all at the same time. It's working great. Okay, so he comes in here. That's an interesting move. Threatening the bishop. Okay, so this is a problem I have. I see this and I go, it's threatening the bishop, and that's all I see. So before I start making any decisions, what else does this do? Let's figure that out. It's hitting this pawn, which is irrelevant. It is allowing what? It's allowing maybe f4 or c4. That seems like actually a pretty good move in this position. If I go here, 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 f4, that kind of seems reasonable. If I go here, I can't put the queen there or there. So now we're left in kind of a tough position, which is like, what am I doing? Am I just giving up on this bishop? Maybe I am. Also remember, this was going to be a target of ours, and now they fixed it. They could just go c3. So I think this is quite a good move that I was not expecting. I guess what it also does is it releases control of this square, right? So we could just jump into e4. Does that do anything for us? That's a good question. Seems like the answer is not really, because especially if they end up going c4, I think I would want to take. Suddenly he's undefended. Tough calls. I just don't think I need to play a6. I think my opponent is going here anyway. If I allow the bishop to be taken, the bishop's getting taken. So I guess the question is, do I just want to come back and say, I really want this bishop? And I think I do. I think I'm going to go back. I'm expecting maybe this. And I'm going to go here. And he's going to move back. And then I'm putting my queen here. And I'm going to assume they're going to go there, but at least I've inspired a weakness. I'm saving this bishop, which I think is quite strong. I don't think I want to give up this bishop yet. It was a tough call. This very well may be one of those moments in the game where we look back at it and go, oh, you handled that kind of all wrong, right? I don't think it's a critical moment where it's like, ooh, that's the moment that lost me the game. But I could definitely see of like, it's a tide-turning moment. Like you've imprisoned your own rook back here for no reason. You could have gone here with your bishop and not had this crazy idea of trying to get big pressure there. Like there are a lot of ways I could have done this differently. I could have jumped this guy in. Lots of things I could have done differently. So we'll see if that ends up being a bad plan. I do like if I get to go here and send this guy back. That seems pretty good to me. Then I can just go like this, bring him back, and then still kind of do all the same plans. It's a tiny bit slower, but this does not look like a game where speed is of the essence. The big move in the position is c4, I think. This is a very thematic move. If you play against the Caro-Kann, be thinking about this c4 break idea. It's the same thing the Caro-Kann wants to play c5. You want to play c4. But it's, of course, finding the moment, right? So I'm not saying play Caro-Kann, play c4. I'm just saying look for it. Interestingly, if they go here, which looks like a very reasonable move, suddenly this becomes quite challenging, right? The knight has to go back to here. It doesn't have a lot of squares. It's going to have to like reroute like this. Like it's kind of a mess. And that looks like a very reasonable move. Because I'm going right now. What? Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. The family drama is almost fully resolved. Don't worry, it's not bad drama. It's meeting at the park drama. Okay, so opponent down to 7.5 minutes with 12 moves in. What? What are we even doing? I'm very baffled by this opponent. Maybe they just have a terrible internet connection. I'm just trying to come up with reasons. Okay, so that's kind of the dream, right? We chase them back. I guess if I go here, though... Okay, no, they can't immediately go there. I think I do want to go here versus here, right? Because if I go here, what are they going to do? They're almost certainly going to go here, right? I guess they could go here. Ooh, do I go here first? Takes takes here, how do they stop the mate? They could move over. I don't think that's going to be the best way. They could push this. And then, do I have anything cool? I have... Oh, I can't go here. He's back. I think if I go here and he goes here, I am pretty happy with that. Right now, the dark squares are just so weak, it's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, I'm going to go here and assume... Oh, wait. If I go here, he can actually go here. That'll be very annoying. But then I think I can just run back. Yeah, I think I would just come back. And then he might come back. And then maybe I'd have to do this and protect it. So again, it doesn't feel like one of those positions where we're going as fast as we can and every tempo is life and death. This feels more like, you know, we're trying to put our pieces on the best squares and hope it works out. So that's one of the fascinating things about chess, right? Is we're always taught like it's all tempo, it's all going as fast as you can, but in some positions it's really like take your time to put your pieces on the best spots they can be. And I don't know actually if this is the best spot we can be, but it certainly looks pretty strong. And we even have ideas like if we go here and here, like we could even do something like that maybe and break the position open that way. Okay, I thought he might do that. Do have some choices about where I want the queen. I could just come back, but this might be better. From here, this guy can jump in here and hit me, which I'm not sure I like. Yeah, I don't think I want that. Because there's this stuff and this stuff. I think I'll just come back to here. And say, okay, I went back. You got me to chase back, but I am going here next. So you do need something. I think the obvious answer is c4, but I keep saying that, and my opponent's not playing it yet. So we shall see if they do decide to play it. Okay. So again, here we are. My opponent at the 6-minute mark. I feel like I'm going kind of slow. It took me 5 minutes to play 14 moves. My opponent, wow, this is the slowest game I've ever played. I'm tempted to ask them about this. Like, hey, yeah, I'm just curious what happened here. Maybe they're used to playing classical chess and this is their first foray into rapid chess. Okay, so again, the plan is going to be here, here. Try to force them to start weakening this. I'm even tempted to go here first before he goes here. That might be the play, right? Because we go here. I think what I was worried about is c4 though, right? But it's that hard thing. Wow, okay. Once your opponent tells you like, hey, I'm not going to play c4, you're like, do I trust you? Or are you going to figure out you should have played c4? Here's an interesting idea. Bang, bang, bang. Now their king side is fully open. After I kick him and go here, like, how does he protect it? Let's say here, 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 queen here. King might actually be able to just slide away. And I've sacrificed a lot of material. So I think I'm going to back up and just play it safe. I'll just be like, I've got this move. I can still threaten your knight. I mean, the dark squares are just ridiculous. And I have the dark squared bishop. Like, This move had to be very thoughtfully calculated, and I don't know. I don't know if it was. If it wasn't, like, that's a move that can lose the game, right? To first of all, just weaken your king side is dangerous. But to weaken all of the dark squares when your opponent is like, hey, I'm coming in on the dark squares, and you're like, bring it. That's a bold move. Okay, that doesn't exactly fix the issue. And this is what's happening? I don't... That kind of seems to make it worse. Alright, so I'm kicking the knight, and then I'm going here. And I'm just going to say, how are you stopping this? Okay. I mean, I don't have it yet. Oh, and I can't go there immediately. Okay, so I have to go like here, takes, here. So it's going to be a little challenge. Okay. This is one way to do it. I don't... What? Huh? Okay, all right. It's covering this square. Okay, all right. We've got something now. My opponent is doing stuff. That's good. So now if I go here, 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 I don't really have anything. I don't have an immediate entry. But it does feel like I can probably go here and bring this piece into the action. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go, or would I rather go the other way? Would I rather go here, here, here? No, I'm going to go here. I'm going to assume he's going to take. Oh, I did that the reverse. Oh, no. Okay. That was really bad. I reversed the process there. Remember, I wanted the bishop here to be able to take here. So now that's... I don't know. We'll see how bad of an oversight that was. That could ruin the attack at least, because now I can't get rid of this really prominent defender. That was kind of the whole point of everything. Oh boy, mistakes were made there. Here, takes, has to move. That was very unfortunate. That was possibly a huge error. And now, ooh, can I just go here? And then takes. I'm giving up the pawn. And I can't get in. I don't know how to get in. I'm going here. I don't know. If takes here, that would feel quite strong. Now this pawn becomes a very important controlling that square. I can probably do things like this. Rook lift him in. It was a very slow way to defend the square, but you know what? They got there. I talked about how this game wasn't going to come down to, speed necessarily. Also, this is kind of interesting. Hitting this twice. It does kind of give up on this diagonal, but maybe that's the idea, is I can move on from it now. It also would let me connect these rooks. So that's another idea sort of floating around in this position. I assume, though, they would just go here, and then the bishop looks kind of ridiculous. It's very blunted, so maybe that's not such a good plan after all. An idea could be to go here, hitting these two. But again, maybe this takes. This is kind of problematic. Okay, so he took there. I think we're going to go here. This feels quite reasonable to me. They don't want to go here. They don't want to go here. So where is this knight going? Probably here, and it can't come out here. So the knight is struggling. If the knight goes here, I don't think that's going to work. In fact, the knight might be immediately done. Can I go here? And it looks trapped to me. Okay, so it goes back. That feels good. Remember, I was like, how am I going to get rid of the knight now? And it's like, well, that's how. He's gone. Bye, knight. Okay, here, covering this square. Or doubling rooks on this file. If this pawn tries to move and I get to take, he takes back here. And I don't get much from that, and I don't really want to lose that pawn. So, like, what if they go here? Do I have to... I don't think I can let it go through. So, is maybe the best idea to move the queen so the bishop is covering this. What I really want to do is move the bishop. I might move it to here, kind of forcing them to take a move to go here. And then maybe I go here, double... Yeah, I think that's where the action's going to be. I'm just not sure I want to do this with my bishop and like intentionally put it out of play. I do like keeping this threat intact so that the rook basically has to stay here. Yeah, in fact, if the rook moves and I check here and the king tries to escape this way, I guess that's not going to be checkmate. It's very close. Another idea is to kind of go here and attack there. I think I'm going to go here. I think we've used enough time in this position. We'll go here and see how this shakes out. If they go here, maybe I just take with the rook. And then they take, and then I take back. And I guess the problem is, like, queen here, actually. Okay. They finally made this move a million years later. I think it's fine for me. I think I'm just going to let it go. And in fact, maybe now I can go here and hit this pawn. And how do they... I guess he'd have to go here? I think I want to just double here. What's the best square to double on? Probably here. I assume this is coming. And then I think it's fine. I've been considering relocating this queen anyway. I'll just go like here, and I can now hit this square again. Because this feels like a lot of pressure. Like, this is just a lot. It's kind of like, bring the knight in, bring the other rook in, and, I mean, all their pieces are, like, off in La-La Land. Even this guy's in La-La Land. Like, he's helping guard one single square, but it's like, okay, cool. It just feels like one of those games where, even if we can't find an immediate, like, bam, we win move, it just feels like our pieces are really working together well, and theirs are just really not. I will say, after takes, push, it looks a little worse for me. Okay, so that rook is going there, but I think we're okay with that. We're going to double the rooks. I did see something interesting. I don't want the bishop to be able to skewer me here. The unfortunate diagonal, if you are following my Chessable course. But it's one of the things I like about that course, right? The 6 motifs, that's in my head. This isn't even a part of the position, but I immediately see those together. I'm like, unfortunate diagonal. Be careful. Warning, warning. Okay, I can't take here. Wait, no, can't take there yet. But we're loading up. I think probably the next idea is get him involved. In fact, this would be quite a landing square, wouldn't it? They'd have to take. Now my queen is in the front, and we are like ready. We're ready to rain down terror upon our opponent. So we'll see what happens. And again, down to 2 minutes. What are they even doing? Okay, so they're going to take that idea away from me. Probably a good idea. Trying to figure out where I want my queen. The problem with putting my queen here is it blocks this guy. I can go like this, though. Then have yet another attacker. Takes. That's not quite enough. But it does pin all their pieces down to it. But I don't know where else I would put this queen. I guess I could go here. Maybe that's better. Yeah. That lets the knight go through first if I want. And then I can bring the queen through. I don't... Okay. Going here, I suppose? Would I take there? I don't think I would take there. I still think this is probably my plan. The knight is doing nothing where he is. This is interesting. It's a little faster. It hits this spot. Suddenly I'm hitting this spot. Maybe that's better. Because the bishop can't harass it. So here, here, in 2 moves, I'm hitting this square. What is the difference between 1, 2, 3 moves? Hitting here. I'm not even hitting the squares I need to hit over there. This is also taking away that escape square for the king. It's also putting pressure on that pawn. Yeah, let's do this. This looks a little bit better. And then I'm looking to go here. I guess there is an issue there that I just thought of. If they just go here now, and I have to go here, I can't really go there anymore. But as they go here, takes... Oh, that just loses. Oh my. I did not fully consider that. This queen placement might be unfortunate. Okay. Thankfully, he can't go here. That would mess everything up. Can go here, which isn't the worst. I think this is just very strong. A very well-placed knight. I now have another piece on here. Take, rook takes. It's almost, this rook has to go here. As almost a must move. And if I go here, I don't think that works, right? Because it's knight takes, and then it would have to be queen takes, rook takes. Okay, but then rook takes. Hold on. My queen is here, and there's a rook here. Takes, takes, rook takes, queen takes, rook takes, and I win, I think. But if he does nothing, then it's pinned. So I liked it better when it was like this. I can take this whenever I want though, right? And then this opens up. Oh my goodness. There is some very juicy things with this move. So can I get this guy out of here? Like if I go here, my opponent cannot go there. That's an insta loss. So they'd have to back up somewhere this way. Then I take them. And it opens 3 attackers, 3 defenders. Takes. Yeah, I think this might be really strong. Yeah, this is a very interesting move. He can't take or he loses. And no matter where this bishop goes, especially if it goes here, it's a debacle, right? Because then I take and I just go here and win the queen. So this might be one of those X-Clan moves where we look back and go, whoa, okay, that's the one that won the game. I was definitely looking at taking the knight, but I think this is even stronger. My opponent has 50 seconds left. What are they even doing? Wow, what? So they've totally... No, I guess they have not misunderstood. Because if I take, they can take this way. And then they're okay. I didn't see that. I thought if I took, they were in trouble. So if I take... Ooh, and they can take that way even. And then the knight still can't go there. I think I have to take or run away. Those are my 2 choices. Let's say takes. Can take either way. Let's say takes with the queen. I think that's a little worse. Because I think I would go here. Takes, rook takes. Oh, and takes with the queen also allows me to go here and win this pawn. Which maybe isn't critical, but it could be interesting. And if takes here, is this just a full sale trading? That doesn't help me. Takes. King could take. And then do I have nothing at the end of that to show for all of this? I do have that move now with the queen. So that's something important to think about. Okay. Takes. Queen here. Yeah, I'm going to go takes. I don't know if this is right. This might not be. If he takes with the queen... Oh, it also takes him off this problem. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. That's interesting. Can I go here? Takes, queen takes, here. And then it's... Yeah, I win material that way, but do I win enough material? Rook here. Has to take pretty much. Rook takes. Queen has to take, or loses the queen. Takes, king there. Then I go... So it's queen against these two. Is there a cool check at the end of this? So I could go like check here. But I don't know that that gets me anything. Is there more here? That's really what I need to figure out. Can I be greedy? I go here. He takes. I take. He just goes here. Okay, we're low on time. I'm going to do this play. I think this works at least quite well. I'm trading a rook and a knight for a queen. Or also throw in the swap of rooks. And I'm up material. And yeah, we're going to have to see. Okay, so we are going here. We're going to do this forcing line. I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to go here, threatening here. And then I can go in here with the check, hitting the pawn. And I think that I might be okay. Right, because I think he wants to go there. So I'm going to go here. And I've got this double threat. I might have had more there, but I just couldn't quite find it. I'll be kind of surprised if my opponent doesn't go here. And I guess I'm wondering, do I just take here anyway? And then if takes, check. I don't think so. It's a little tricky because if I go here and here, then there's stuff with this. What is that move? Okay, stopping the check. Okay, I'm going to take here then. I'm going to take the pawn. He's going to go there, predictably. And then what? Now it's time to target this side of the board, perhaps? Just like here, here, and come back around? Or here, here to here. Yeah, I think that's how we want to do it. So we'll go here, hitting the rook also on the way over, putting more pressure on my opponent. Okay, putting the rook in a worse spot. I like it. Then I will go here or here. Ooh, this looks even better. Yeah, because here I can zip in this way and then pick up that pawn. So this is going to be very hard for my opponent to hold this together. I've got this queen zipping all over the board. And on top of that, they're low on time and their pawns are all spread out and their pieces are spread out. Okay, that's what I thought my opponent was going to do. I think that is a good idea. But can't I go here and here? I guess this is a reason to go here, so that I could have immediately gone there. I think I'll just go here. And then I'll probably follow up with that. And then I can try to squeak my queen in there. And again, I'm in time trouble for sure, but my opponent is in like excruciating time trouble. It'll be shocking if they can pull this out with such a tiny amount of time left. Okay, so they go there, which is a good move. Takes away some of my ideas. This knight can go here, which doesn't look great. And then I assume, oh, actually this looks pretty good actually, here and then the rook to there. So I think I kind of messed that up actually. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's interesting. I wonder if that's going to be a big debacle, because it might let them put a lot of pressure on me. Yeah. It's like if I go here, then this or this will probably hang. Ooh, definitely not working out how it was supposed to. Not how I drew it up. But maybe I can go here. I'm kind of thinking this move is the way to go. If he goes check, I go here. He goes there. I think it's okay. All right, I'm going to go here. I'm going to try to dislodge this whole situation, because here is a huge problem for my opponent. Okay, 9 seconds remaining. Can they find something amazing? That's the obvious move. I'm going to go here. Right? They can check, though. I guess maybe this is the way to go. And then it's going to be rook here to take there, probably. I just don't think that is enough there. Oh boy. Back to seconds remaining. Okay, I'll take here. And now if they come in, that's a real problem, right? And I can even go here, pressuring this also. Okay. Do I care about that? Not really. I will go here to continue pressuring. I guess this is a good move. So I didn't really take that seriously enough. I'm not sure it's good right now, though. Oh, yeah, no, it is. That's a good move, because now they can go here and hold everything together. But I think I'll go here, and then I've got stuff like that. Okay, yeah. So I'll go here, threaten the rook, and now they have to protect the rook or move the rook. If they protect the rook, then I can come in behind. Come in behind, they go there. Then I'm going to attack the rook that way, I guess. It just feels like I get to keep harassing them until they eventually break. Right? It would be impressive if my opponent could just hold this together forever. Like, even with infinite time, this would be a very hard thing to pull off. Ooh, what? I guess they have that check at the end. I think I like here looks very good. Okay, that's right. They are going to get that pawn, so that's useful for them. And it attacks me. Like, oh, and I can't go here then. So that's kind of clever. I will be able to go there. So I will go here to attack him. And then if he takes here, then I take here, threatening him, and then I come in here. Okay. That's interesting. Kind of hold stuff together. He has that check. So let's not walk into a fork. My opponent is playing incredibly well here with no time. I'm going to go here. Start to force him away a bit. Okay. I'm going to go here. Again, forcing him to the other side. Seeing what I can pry free over here now. I'll go here. Will my opponent go there is the question. Okay, I thought they would. Can't go here. I can go here and here, I guess. This knight is so awesome. Just holding down every square I could possibly want to go to. I am just so impressed by my opponent here. This is like some of the best chess I've ever seen in this much time trouble. I mean, this is just wild. Just so many good moves. I'm not up that much material either. It feels like I'm just up everything, but I'm really not. Okay. Taking a long time here with this move. If they go... Oh, going back to there. That's an interesting idea. So it's left the defense of that pawn. So I'm going to go here. That's a dangerous move. This is here. So I definitely have to move the queen. Okay. I'm going to come back here. Threaten this. And now he can't protect it this way. Okay. Gonna give up on it, I guess. Oh, okay. That's a clever idea. That's a checkmate, isn't it? Wow. Okay. But this side is also a checkmate. I did not fully recognize that. So I'm gonna go here. So they can't go there. But now my opponent has imprisoned me onto the back rank. So, like I said, playing like a boss here, man. So I'm going to go this way. Probably going to go here. Sort of threaten to dismantle my pawns. Just, you know, ice in the veins of this person. The problem is, if they go here, they're starting to really disconnect the rook. Like, it's just totally loose. I can't attack it at this moment. I could go here. It doesn't do anything. So I'm going to go here first. I'm going to assume here. And then it's time to try to figure out how to fork it. Forking there. Forking there. Go here. I have to remember this is covered. This pawn would be a great pawn to nab. So I think maybe even here actually is going to win. I go here. The check, get that pawn. Hitting him. And then... Okay, so we'll go there. Now we're finally closing in on victory. My goodness, this has been a resilient opponent. Okay. Gonna go here. We're gonna go here, and then I'm gonna go there. To take away that check. Their big hope is 1,000,000 checks, but I don't think they have 1,000,000 checks here. This, boom, is game. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Yeah, any checks with the knight, he's loose. There is this check here, actually. I didn't see that, but then I go there. Okay. How do I attack that guy? I go check here. I don't know. Let's try this. Check. I want to be able to put my queen there for the fork. Okay. Here would do it. I can't imagine my opponent just walks into that, but we'll see. White resigned. Okay. All right. Very weird place to resign. That is 4 in a row. So for all of the people who are in my YouTube comments talking about how I never ever win, I have won 4 in a row. All right, let's take a look at this one. This is quite an interesting one. Okay. So we played just into the regular exchange. Nothing too exciting here. Actually, this move. Yeah, this move is the third most common book move. What does the engine say about it? Engine says, like any other move in this position, it is fine. The most common move is to go here. And then I go here, and then we have this whole thing that happens. But instead he went there. I did my normal moves. And everything seems pretty normal here. The computer says I maybe have the slightest of leads. Okay, so this is an interesting moment. So the computer says that bishop d6 it likes more than bishop e7, and then after this I should probably just castle. I decided to throw this in there to make them make a decision, and I think that probably wasn't the best decision. The computer actually likes this, kind of sticking the queen on a weird spot. Now when this guy comes in, more threats, right? I guess the bishop has to go back. Okay, but I went this way. Everything seems fine. Number one computer move, move the bishop back. I like it. All right, and then that was weird. And we decided to repeat some stuff. And then this, right? This computer does not like. The computer says now it's negative 1.5. And I think for all the reasons we talked about, right? Like the dark squares are so very weak. I have to be able to do something here. Okay. And yeah, I heavily considered this move here before the knight came back, and I didn't. And the computer's like, yeah, that's the move. A6 is a good move, but the other move was better. And now it's not that, right? And this was such a frustrating moment in the game that I figured out that this is what the structure I wanted. And this is a pretty big lead for black. But I messed it up and went here first, and immediately after I was like, what? And now the engine's like, hey man, now it's close to zeros. Like, what are you even doing? So now we got to scramble. And the computer says this was a terrible move. This is just basically winning at this point. All right. Will I find the way to win? Wait, why did I go here again? Oh, to connect the rooks. Okay. Okay. And then I'm just doubling, and the computer says you're up 3. And that move, not the best move, but it's fine. We're still crushing. This idea is good. Computer loves it. And now the computer says we're up 6. I don't think we got 6 worth of this. I think I made some mistakes in here. Trade. Okay. Computer likes all this and says, yeah, actually, the -6 was actually this. Okay. So I played it well. I like that. And then from here, my opponent, went into brilliant mode, right? And just was like, I don't care if I have 20 seconds left. I'll play the entire rest of the game down material in a horrible spot as perfectly as you can imagine. Set up traps for me. Luckily, I was able to dodge them all, and eventually, they weren't able to hold everything. Ooh, wow. This was a bad move by me. This move took it all the way from 5 to 1.2. So I'm just curious. Okay, the computer's like, just, you got this pawn. Just start moving it. And this was this idea. Oh, no. It was here. Wow, this is almost a draw according to the computer. That is shocking. Okay. But from here on out, even with this infiltration, there's just not enough. My queen is able to just go around and chomp everything under the sun. Until finally here the opponent says, I've had enough. Alright, so I'm going to run a computer eval as we talk about this game. Takeaways. I mean, a big takeaway is color weaknesses. And this is a very advanced topic. I'm not claiming to be a master of it, but color complexes are important. And if your opponent has a very good shortcut is if your opponent has the bishop of the colors you are weakening, that is incredibly dangerous. if they have a bishop already targeting them and a way to put a second piece on them, now you're in like utter danger zone territory. That is not a great plan. And then from there, you know, precise play is important even when you're winning. This is a big takeaway. And then I'm pretty proud of myself for this move, that I could see that this is really going to open up the files, right? And then I think the last part that I'm kind of proud of myself of is here, finding what I thought was the brilliant game-winning move, realizing it wasn't, and just saying, okay, all right, we're going to get a decent amount of material here. This is enough. We should be happy with this, instead of being like, no, we got to find more, and then blowing the game, right? Because there were other ways to do this. You know, I could have tried to like bring the bishop back and keep the pressure on, and that would have been fine. But I think understanding that we're pivoting from like mate or winning the queen to we're just getting a really good end game. It's not just queen versus two pieces. It's queen infiltrated, weak pawns everywhere. Not terrible, but definitely weak, and then spread out pieces that aren't working together. And being able to sense all that together and seeing that, like, okay, it's time to transition and sort of give up on the plans. Game wasn't quite as clean as I was thinking. I had a 92%. My opponent had 89%. I did have 2 blunders. I guess let's take a real quick look at the blunders, and then we're going to get out of here. My blunder we already saw. My blunder was this when I went here. Okay, because apparently they had the idea of rook c2, and rook c2 is quite strong, I guess. I don't understand why I can't just like come out and still be well ahead. I feel like I'm well ahead. Let's say I go here. Okay, I guess the idea is we're going to do some trading. Okay, that loses. Why is this good? Rook c3. Rook c3. Just trying to now hold everything. You know what? Everything's holding. Oh my goodness. The computer says this is a dead draw. Your opponent has reached a fortress. Now, I am not good with fortresses, so I did not see the fortress. Okay, so that's the game. I only see 1 blunder in its list, even though it says I made 2. Oh, my last play of the game is a blunder. It took it from a mate in 15 to -8. What am I even doing? I can see why you said that was a blunder, computer. It nearly cost me the game. That is sarcasm. Those are kind of annoying. All right, well, that's 4 in a row. Thanks so much for stopping by for another game in the Road to 2200 series. I'll see you next time, everybody. Goodbye.